I've been trying to stay away from politics in order to keep my sanity, but this just hit my radar. Okay, so I'm a little late to the news on this, but this just came up and I was just told about it. And I'm just wondering, why isn't this being blasted all over social media like every time that a Democratic nominee wins something? So this is Mayra Flores. She is a Republican candidate that just won District 34 for Congress, and she is Mexican American. She actually is an immigrant. She was born in Mexico and migrated to the United States as a child, and now she sits in Congress. Now, granted, it's only for a limited time because she's only filling in a seat that was vacant, but the fact that she flipped a predominantly Democratic stronghold is big news. And this should be all over social media, not just because she's a Republican and it flipped, a historically Democratic district, but the fact that we actually have a Mexican immigrant who now sits in Congress. Mayra Flores, a Republican, won a special election to fill the unexpired term of U.S. Rep. Philemon Vela. Another election will be held in November. So again, she would have to run in November, but for now, she will sit there until January. And I highlighted a few areas here. Republican Mayra Flores prevailed Tuesday in special elections for an open congressional seat in South Texas, marking a major breakthrough for Republicans eager to blaze new inroads in historically blue regions. She beat Dan Sanchez, the leading Democrat, outright in the closely watched race and will be the first Mexican-born Congresswoman. She will get to serve only until January, but Republicans herald her win as a shot of momentum in their new South Texas offensive. So I want to make sure that we understand this perfectly. I don't care whether she is running as a Republican or if she was running as a Democrat. And to be 100% honest, if she was running as a Democrat, this would be posted all over social media. It would be blasted all over the news. But the fact that she's a woman and she's Mexican born, well, I don't see anybody in mainstream media posting this because, one, apparently Democrats and liberals don't know or can't define what a woman is. So they wouldn't be able to put her on mainstream. But she might be if she would have been a Democrat. But the fact that she is a Mexican-born Congresswoman now, that should be blasted all over social media. That is a win for Latinos everywhere. Not the fact that, she is just a woman, but the fact that she was born in Mexico, she is an immigrant, she migrated to the United States as a child with her parents. That is all major accomplishments and a first in history. And that is something that everybody should be paying attention to, because Latinos, I think, are starting to change their mind about voting democratically, since Democrats have done absolutely nothing for the Latino vote. And I'm not just going to say the Latino community in general. Democrats have done absolutely nothing for the Asian community, the Black community, and the Latino community, or anybody else in any of these communities. Look at some of these communities and you tell me what Democrats have done for them, except making people dependent on a government who, by the way, cannot take care of its own people. Anytime anybody in the government says, "We are here to help," that means run. And that's exactly what Kamala Harris and Biden said when they were elected into office. We are here to help. Help from what? We don't want your help. We want the acknowledgement that we are here to do what's best for us, for our people, for our communities, and people need to take care of their own communities. They don't need the government involvement to do that. And this is what this woman is running on. So this is what she says. Flores declared victory and said her campaign took no one for granted. For over 100 years, we have been taken for granted, she said at her election night party in San Benito. I will show you what real representation looks like, and I will represent all people. And I hope she sticks to that. Again, she has to run in November again, and hopefully she'll win. But for now, she sits there in the new Congress seat until January. But if she really is for the people, I hope she shows that. And based on what I've read on her and based on the, little interviews that I've seen of her, she keeps saying it, that she's not there to win political points for the Republican Party. She is there for the people, and that's what she is there to do. She is going to fight for the people, not to fight to win points for the Republican Party. And again, she only says that she ran for the Republic as a Republican because most of our values align with the Republican Party. And I believe, right, when you take a look at it, for the most part, a lot of Latinos' values, even though they vote predominantly Democrat, a lot of the Latinos' values really do align more either with the Republican Party or the Libertarian Party, right? Because we want limited government. We care about hard work and making sure that we are able to do what we can to provide for our families and provide for our communities. So I'm going to provide a little bit of information here. That way you have the information. The district that Flores ran for, which is Texas 34, the district will be redrawn, and then November election when Flores' challenger will be Vincent Gonzalez Jr., current representative for the neighboring 15th congressional district. But still, this shows a significant political shift in South Texas. So the district 34 right now is a heavily Hispanic community. Just 13.4% of the residents in Texas identify as white, non-Hispanic, and 1.01% as Black or African American, non-Hispanic. This is not the sort of district which a Republican usually supposed to have a shot, whether it's a special election or not, right? And this is a special election because, like I said, they were going for a seat that had been vacant for a few months now. But again, she won it. And, you know, the fact that the GOP did pour a ton of money to make sure that this person, that Flores, could win, right? That says a lot versus the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party has taken the Latino vote for granted. And I've said that a couple of times, but let's move on. So this is what Flores said, and this is kind of what she's running on. And this is just a little snippet. America First policies resonate with the Hispanic community and others who live in this district. For over 100 years, the Democratic has taken us for granted. The loyalty and support of South Texas has given them for decades. They do nothing to earn our vote or our support. She's also pro-border security. Illegal immigration encourages and funds human child trafficking. I legally immigrated to America when I was 6 years old. Living in South Texas offers a unique perspective on illegal immigration and how it affects the livelihood of American citizens. We must secure our borders to keep bad individuals out and encourage legal immigration. Flores herself, she was born in Burgos, Tamaulipas, Mexico, coming legally to the United States at the age of 6. So I want to go back to this legal immigration, right? I believe in legal immigration. I think our immigration laws need to change. I think our immigration laws need to get reworked. I think our immigration laws in general need to be redone, period. Because our immigration laws have sucked for decades. They don't get better every year. Every single year, they keep talking about making immigration laws better and better, right? Especially the Democratic Party, because they like to fuel on our personal feelings, right? And they talk about the border wall is racist. Well, let's be 100% honest, right? The border wall is there to try to keep out the bad. And the bad for me, when it comes to the border wall, which is one of the reasons why I believe on the border wall, is to cut down on human trafficking. I think that if the Republican Party wants to get the Latino vote, they need to make sure that they word everything correctly when it comes to border security. That way they're not being called racist all the time. The reality of it is a lot of trafficking comes through that border. A lot of illegal firearms come through that borders, and a lot of, drugs come through the southern border. And that's what they need to make sure they emphasize other than anything else. And in reality, preach and say that you're going to work on making sure that legal immigration is possible, and you're going to rework the laws so they allow legal immigrations so kids won't be trafficked, women don't have to experience the things that happen with that journey, right, along the way, so they don't have to come here illegally. But the laws need to change for legal immigration. And I think that that is perfect on what she is saying. And a lot of Latinos, I think, believe in that because they don't want child trafficking, which is exactly what happens. Me personally, that's what I don't want happening, right? Child trafficking is huge business for the coyotes. And that's exactly what happens. Guns, you know what? Yes, I don't want them coming here illegally either, right? A lot of illegal sales and drugs. I don't care for that. That is not what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate on making sure that no child comes trafficked through that border and that no woman comes trafficked through that border. And with all the craziness that's going down in southern Mexico and in Mexico in general, with children being kidnapped and women being kidnapped, but that's another story. Republicans, if you want to make sure that you win the Latino vote and you get people like my own mother to start voting Republican, run on something that's positive. Don't say nothing stupid, and come back and say something, come back and say something along the lines of, we're going to work on our immigration policies in order to make sure that people are able to come here and work and be able to thrive under the American dream, which is to make a better, wealthier, profitable family unit for the next generation. But I'm going to leave it there. You guys let me know what you think. If you knew about this story way before I did, let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comment. And you know what? Again, this is Mayra Flores. Let me put her back. This is Mayra Flores. And remember her face. Hopefully she wins in the November election, and she will be the first, she is the first Mexican American to win Congress for now, even if it's for a few months. But hopefully she wins in the November election again, and she gets to run and she gets to be in Congress for a lot longer time. You guys let me know, put it in the comments, and until next time, remember to stay inadequate.